All right, guys, so what I wanted to do is, if you guys don't know who this is Jamie. She's our lady who lost 120 plus pounds in 12 months. So here's the thing is, and a lot of you guys are experiencing the same thing, is you go through weeks where you might only lose a pound or two. And what's really funny is Jamie never had a week where she lost 8 or 10 pounds. Like, she never had that massive week. And it's like I try to tell you guys, every single week, if you're losing a pound to 3 pounds, add that up over 52 weeks, and that's 50 to 150 pounds. So Jamie, I asked her to kind of share some of the stuff that she struggled with, because she had a lot of weeks where she was disappointed as well. And so she worked out with me this morning, and I decided I wanted to have her kind of share a couple of those things with you guys.
Yep. So, I started like a year ago, and I was actually over 350 pounds. And when I started, it took me a little while to get the diet right, but once I got it, I was key on with the diet all the time. I'd never cheated. I was so consistent with my eating. And I was really frustrated because week after week I would lose 1 or 2 pounds. Occasionally maybe a 3 or 4 pound week, but I never had a really big week like Aaron said. And it was really disappointing because here I was, a huge person, and I never could have that big week like you see on The Biggest Loser or you hear about over Facebook or whatever. So when I hit my 100 pounds, I was really amazed to sit back and reflect, like, how did I really get here? And it was just adding up 2 pounds a week, 2 pounds, 2 pounds. You know, eventually 2 pounds a week turns into 100 pounds, or it turns into 40 pounds, or whatever your goal might be. And it's really amazing that those little steps and the little pounds all pay off in the end.
And I think the biggest thing to kind of praise Jamie about, but also to use as a lesson learned, is when you have weeks where you start to get discouraged, where you might only lose a pound or, heaven forbid, 2 pounds, and you were super strict, ultimately you have 2 options at that point. Is you can feel bad for yourself, and you can go back to your old eating habits, and you can put the weight back on, and then you can go back to being unhappy and then start over again at some other point down the road. That's your option. Sadly, your other option is changing the way that you think about things. So if you think of it this way, every pound that you lose and every inch that you lose is a step in the right direction, and you're not ever going to go back from that. Then every single pound holds a lot more achievement, because you know that that pound is never going to come back, because you're never going to let that happen. So Jamie's been working out now for over a year now, and what are you at right now? Kind of what are your current goals?
My current goal is I try to set myself small little goals to achieve my big goal. So my first goal is I'm at 130 pounds lost right now. So my next goal is actually to get into the 100s. So I have 26 more pounds to go to hit those 100, to hit the wonderful hundreds. So that's my next goal.
That's awesome. And this is the cool thing about Jamie, and I use her story a lot with a lot of you guys, of how the very first couple weeks that she was there, in fact, her very first workout, I remember Matt called me the night before and said, good luck. Because Jamie was just so defeated, and she was so big that there was only so much she could really do. And there was she couldn't do, I don't think, any of the exercises the first day she was there without a large modification. To the point now where we just got done doing partner burpees together, and I'm still dripping sweat. Like, this is where you can go, but every single day you can't find a way to defeat yourself. If you find a way to defeat yourself, you're gonna quit, and you're gonna start letting those negative thoughts win. And like I've talked before, you can be your own coach or you can be your own critic. And as soon as you're your own critic, you're gonna start to doubt yourself. And don't do that. Coach yourself along. Be proud of where you've got, and set small goals and then achieve those goals, and every single step then set a new one. You should always be aiming for something. It's the same reason that we have the why boards and the goal boards out there. If you don't have a why or a goal up there, guys, I recommend you do it, because every time you come in, I have mine up there. Every time I come in, it reminds me of what I'm here to do and what I'm here to accomplish. And there's days where I want to mess around, there's days where I don't want to go all out, but ultimately when I look at those things, and then when I have people who want to work out like Jamie, to think that a year and a half ago, Jamie would have called me and said, hey, do you want to come work out today? That's a crazy thing for me to think about. So you guys can do anything realistically. And I hate to say that, because I always use her. I say, if she can do it, anyone can do it. But ultimately, it takes willpower and it takes dedication. And there's no shortcut to that. There's no magic pill that Jamie took that made her lose 130 pounds now. There's nothing that she did. It's consistent, 1 to 3 pounds a week, every single week, telling herself that she's worth it and never forgetting why she started, because she's worth every single time she works out. She's worth every single meal she doesn't cheat. And you really have to fight those battles. And you're going to struggle. I promise you, there's probably times where Jamie cheated and messed up. I know there's times where I cheat and mess up on my diet and my workouts and everything else. But ultimately, I can quit or I can keep going. So I just wanted to have her share a little bit of stuff with you guys, because I know that especially as this gets into the last couple weeks of a challenge, and no matter where you're at with your diet, just to look at the big picture and to see where things are going. Thanks, nerd.